We continue to prepare and get results for you ahead of Hurricane Florence. And with us today to discuss what homeowners and renters need to do to protect your belongings. From a legal perspective, we brought in attorney David DuFault of Sodoma Law. David, nice to have you with us. Thank you very much this morning. You and I were just talking that a lot of the times you get calls the day, the weeks after an event like Florence coming through, but we want to kind of a preemptive strike. What do we need to know as far as anything legal regarding a storm, our valuables maybe? What are some advice that you can give us today?
Well, first, I think everybody should make sure you're safe. Take care of yourself.
Right.
Follow that kind of advice. From your personal property, certainly take care of your valuables. If you've got important papers, birth certificates, Social Security cards, life insurance policies, homeowners policies, make sure they're protected. Make sure they're backed up. Make sure that you have copies of them because you may need those if something happens.
Well, and there's a lot of options there. You can buy, I know yesterday when I was showing my emergency kit, you can get waterproof boxes to put some of those documents in. Maybe you can make backup copies like photocopies. You know, a fire safe, some of those things are important as well as digital copies, right? So there's a lot of ways when you say backup, that can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah, yes. Again, electronic copies, paper copies, storing them in waterproof or Ziploc. Yeah. And if you're leaving, maybe take some of them with you.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's very smart. Number two is to know your insurance policy. Boy, this is like having a car manual. I mean, how many people really read through it, right?
Very few probably actually take the time, but it is important because there are different types of coverages that you can have, replacement, cash value. You need to understand what your policy is going to cover, what kind of policy benefits might be available to you if you do suffer a loss.
And I guess if you have a question of wording, because some of the legal jargon, people are like, I'm reading it, but I still don't know what it means. And so, you know, there's a chance that you could lose electricity and some valuables could go that way. You could have flood damage if you're in a floodplain. You may already know that, knowing where you live. A tree could come through the house. So there's a lot of things in the policy you should know now.
Right. And if you've got questions, certainly take advantage of the time you have now. Call your agent. Call a lawyer. They'll be able to walk you through the policy and explain some of the differences.
And if you do have some of that damage, that leads us to the third bit of information. Look into some income tax relief. How does that help?
So there are certain, when we have storms like this where the government will step in and acknowledge that there are costs associated with this, so there are potential deductions, there may be extensions that you'll be entitled to as a result of a storm coming in and hitting the area. So take advantage of those opportunities if you need them.
I wanted to mention really quickly, this is sort of a fourth bullet point that David and I were just talking about. With the damage possibly coming through even to the Charlotte area, be on the lookout for scammers and those crews that are coming through that may appear on the surface to want to help you out, but they're always looking for an extra buck.
Exactly. There are certainly people out there that will try to take advantage of the disadvantages that you've suffered. So if you need work done on your house, if you need to have repairs, make sure you do a little bit of research about the people that are coming in and make sure they're insured, make sure they're licensed, make sure that they're not asking you to pay for everything up front. Yeah. Just be cautious.
Yeah, that's great advice. David, thank you for being here. David DuFault again with Sodoma Law, trying to get you the results you need before the storm and after, and hopefully we will not have any damage. So be safe, everyone. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.